Welcome. Okay, Painttech Academy. So what do we have for you today? This is something that we've done at the P&D show for a few years now. And this is pretty much how we try and help a lot of decorators, fellow decorators within the trade, just, I suppose, excel to a different level. And over the years, what we found is that we've had what we call the evolution of a decorator. That's us kind of putting together some ideas of how to build a more profitable balance. That's something we're going to talk a lot about today, and how to evolve your decorating business, or how we've helped other people obviously achieve this. So let's get to it. So again, if you want to evolve your business, sit down. All right, this is obviously from the show, and if you were there, fantastic. If you're not, this is all going to make more sense. And what I'm trying to do here is resonate with the fact that, look, a lot of people stand on the side, and maybe this isn't right for you. Maybe you're doing very well with business, or maybe you're just not ready. So if not, go get a coffee, grab a brewer's bag, get your freebies, enjoy the show, away you go. But for those that were at the show, what we had is, before you do go and you actually toddle off, we want to try and capture you. This is the whole point. This is how we try and teach you guys how to interact with your customers so they never actually slip away. So here what we've done is we've offered them a 12-month business evolution package, completely free. That's unlimited Painttech courses, one-to-one membership, mentorship, my bad, ongoing business growth for the whole year. And they can scan that, and that's obviously going to be announced on the date that shows. So if you're watching this, and this is after obviously the show and you weren't able to make it, don't panic, because technically what you've got here is something that we can also still offer you guys. We can offer it, and the main reason being is we access a lot of funding, okay, through the government on your behalf. So it's always worth a conversation. If you're serious about actually excelling and you're evolving, and you watch till the end of this, my ramblings, you will want to get in touch. I guarantee you will want to be in touch. Okay, one of the other things as well is that we've got Pete's new book. So over the time, me and Pete have done things in different ways. I do the visuals, I do these videos and everything else, and I'm more the face of, let's say, Painttech. It was originally my decorating business. Pete got involved, and he's done fantastic. He's done some incredible books. And this is one that we've spoken about this year. Ready for the show. The evolution of decorating, helping you build a more profitable decorating business. All right. It's the same. It's really weird because me and Pete didn't actually confer on any of this. We just come at it from two different angles, but we've both got the same, I suppose, the desire and drive to actually make the trade a better place. So guys, this is for, I suppose, you as much as anything else, because if you're watching the video, it's the same as if you were sat in the chair. Right. We've done our research, and we know there's about 150,000 decorators in the UK. At the P&D show, we get about 1,500 through the doors every day at the show. Okay, only a handful will take the seat, and that makes them the 1%. Okay, it makes them the top of the tree, in my opinion. Somebody who's prepared to, I suppose, take a day out of their business and come and work on their business. Speak to their suppliers, do a lot of networking, see what's new, just really think about how can I actually, add to my business moving forward. One of the questions I want you to understand is, if you sat down and you're watching this, your business was built to serve you. That's why you decided to actually set yourself up in business. Whatever was the initial reason, you were just good at decorating, or you fell into it, or you were fed up working for a firm. But one thing we found is the fact that you're watching this, it resonates that no different than I am. The majority of time, you actually feel like you're a slave to your business. So what I want to do today is, or through this video, is give you a bit of an insight of how we could possibly make changes for that. So, right, be honest, what do you want from next year? And the reason I'm saying that is November at the moment, okay? So what do you want from next year? Do you want better paying jobs? Do you want better clients, more profit? Do you want more time for yourself, maybe more time for the family? Or do you just want a far better year than last year? To be honest with you, all of them, I hope. You technically want all of those. And we're going to try and pull some of those into play, give you some quick wins, some ideas, but more of an insight into how we feel that we can help. And we know we can, because we've actually done this in our own business, and we've obviously helped a lot of other people on the route. So I think the first thing you need to accept is you're out of whack. Okay, you're just completely all out of whack. You know you are. Okay, I know I am. I believe that life is like a slice of pizza. Most decorators' lives are more like a sloppy slice of pizza, as we can see there. What you've got is you've got three elements of the wedge, that little triangle. Okay, what you've got is you've got you. Okay, that's probably, like I say, the sloppy bit on the bottom. Okay. So what you've got is, if we break that pizza down, business takes the largest piece of the pizza slice. Okay, just takes the largest piece. It does. It's overwhelming, all consuming. The family gets the odd piece of pepperoni. Okay, if they're lucky, and you get sweet affair. You know, if you're lucky, you'll get the sloppy bit. And that's how I feel. And that's how a lot of people feel when I speak to them, that they are so out of kilter, that this balance, which is the fact that we try and look at it as a triangle so that each part is equal. That's not the reality. Okay, it's not. And I think what I'm trying to do here is get you, firstly, to understand that that's acceptable. It was your choice to set up a business. It is all consuming. It's the last thing you think of when you go to bed. It's the first thing you think of when you wake up. And to be honest with you, it's probably what haunts you throughout the evening as well. The real cause of the stress is no balance. All right, we have no balance. We can't seem to get this right. And this is just the business. This isn't anything else. This is just the business. We feel that we haven't got a balance. We feel like we're always on site. We never seem to get the right time to deal with clients. You know, and that's why we have, you know, problems in communication. Good for me to say, communication issues. Ordering materials, I love this one because we always blame the suppliers. Oh my God, I didn't get my paint in time. That's on us. All right. We just find that we're not actually ordering materials with plenty of time. We're not on top of it. And it always seems to be a stressful factor that we've not got all the gear to get the job done. Quoting, we actually begrudge it. I think I speak to a lot of people, they actually start to begrudge the fact that they've got to go out on an evening and give up their time to quote. Then they got to come back and then they got to do all the admin. And that, I don't mean just doing the quotes. I mean following up on payments, doing invoices, marketing, every single thing, ordering materials. But the one that got me, and I'll talk about stress for me personally in a minute, was chasing payments. Chasing payments is a killer. Cash flow is probably the lifeblood of any business. And when that's not flowing like it should, it just chokes the business and it just has a massive impact. The one thing that I feel is all of that encompassing, and that's just touching on a few, is we just feel constantly overwhelmed. All right. Just overwhelmed with everything. Where do I start? What do I do? What do I focus on? My time management. It's acceptance. Okay, guys, just accept that you are going to be out of kilter. You have no balance, and we've got to try and find ways of being able to do that moving forward. Like I said, how does it affect me, or how did it affect me? Stress can kill your business, and if you're not careful, I think it's really sad that you get to a certain stage in life and people around you and everything else start to really suffer. And I think running a business isn't really going to help. You know, I didn't build a business. Okay, I thought I did. I'd actually built a pressure cooker and I was right in the middle of it. Stress nearly wrecked my health and more, my relationship, my business, everything. But one thing that I suppose changed for me was the fact that my consultant came up because I had 12-inch my bowel removed, all right, and it was really bad. And luckily we caught it in time. It could have been a lot worse. And I've still suffered and struggled with those kind of health issues. I'm aware of them now. I can feel it kind of twisting my gut a little bit. So I have to chill out. I really do. One of the things is that the consultant said to me, whatever you're doing, change it. So I did. And I literally changed it overnight. But one thing that I didn't realize at the time, but I do now, is that I actually made a conscious decision to evolve and focus on something far better. Pete's got a new book out, like we've said, The Evolution of Decorating. And Pete's principle, okay, which is one of the things we talk about, the evolution of decorator, okay, is remember, it's your standards, all right? It's your value, it's your rates, it's your balance, it's your business, okay? It's your life. What you want to do with it, okay, is key point here. Grab the book, okay, because again, if you're watching this on video, go to Amazon, you'll see all these books. Grab this one. This one is probably I think he says that it's the best one so far. I think it is, because it's bang in line with what we're actually trying to achieve here. We're trying to get you guys just to see how you can make small changes, evolve your business, and just get better results, get a little bit more balance. I think that's what we're trying to achieve here. So again, we talked about where did we go? Believe it or not, it wasn't far after me having my health issues that I actually was taking a business mentor. I was taking a lot of advice, and he said, look, a lot of people are asking you to help them, okay? Because we were doing a lot of spraying back in the day. We actually brought it to the masses. We know we did, okay? Because when we started at the show in 2015, the only spray relationship there were probably Graco selling machines. I think Q-Tech was there and Wagner. That was it. And they were just selling machines. That was it. We actually pitched the idea. And if you look, that's Paint Tech Decorators. That was my decorating business. But what we'd also done is we'd actually built a community called Spray Makes Sense. That's the skull. And everybody's copied it. You know, it doesn't matter who it is, your forums, training companies, everybody's copied the skull. We copied the skull, but we copied the skull probably 2008, 2010. And I saw this in America, and we took something similar and we created Spray Makes Sense. It was a community, okay? And with that community, what we did is we realized that we could start to build systems. Then everybody was asking us for training, so we started running it at the weekends on a Saturday, because we were on site all the time. Then Sunday, and then it started to get bigger, and then we got involved with City and Guilds, and then we got involved in funding, and it just started to be that more and more people were open to actually evolving their business through training and support. So we built the systems, built the training, we built the standards. A lot of people could try and copy what we do. It will never happen, all right? Because they're not in it for creating a standard. They're in it for creating a pound, okay? The money comes, all right? Hey, we're running a business. The money flows, but it's not our driving force. We know that, never has been. We make money elsewhere as well. All others will copy what we do, okay? Because we are always evolving. We evolved from the problems we were having as a decorating company into spraying, into other areas, which I'll talk about in a minute, into training. That training's grown, and we're always evolving. So you need to think about evolving yourself as well. And we'll show you again how we do that. Now, our business, my two sons and my nephew ran a kitchen and worktop refurbishment company called the Kitchen Painting Network. Okay, and we've got people that have come through the training, and we've slowly started to grow this network. People ask me, how do I get involved? You step up. All right, you become present. You make sure that you've got the right ethics, the right beliefs. You've got integrity, and then you get handpicked. All right, we handpick everybody. We don't want just anybody. It's not about numbers. It never has been, never will be. It's always about quality, and it's always about quality control, especially for the customer. When we put our name against it, we want to make sure that whoever's putting our name or wrapping the Kitchen Painting Network around themselves for the customer and for their business, they're the right people. But I want to talk about how we, again, evolved. This is the difference. So we were doing kitchens, and then we started looking at worktops probably about 5 years ago. I went to America, I went to Chicago, and I did training with Hawk. Okay, they did a finish called Stormflex. Okay, but over the past 4 years, we've learned through cock-ups and everything else, unlike everybody else who just copies what we do. All right, we took Hawk, okay, and it broke. So we improved it and we retested it, and it still broke, okay? It was a system that didn't fit us, all right? It didn't fit our business model. So what we did is we searched around and we found spirit granite. And again, it broke, but for different reasons, okay? So we tried it, they tried to improve their products, we retested it again, broke again. We just kept getting more and more frustrated. We were ready for jacking it all in, okay? We thought this worktops, with ours is it's more grief than it's worth. But a lot of customers were still asking for this, and we knew it was a potential good market to get in. So what we did is we actually went and we set up RetroCut. And RetroCut is now something that we pull multiple products from multiple sources, put them together, and we do a lot of testing. Okay, so far so good. Okay, we have improved it. We are retesting it at the moment. We even, as I do this video now, we had a meeting on Friday. We got some new products that have been tested. It's coming in. We will nail it. And the reason we'll nail it is because that's what we do. We're always front of the spear. We don't copy. All right. There's other people out there, there's other training providers that will tell you that they've got this amazing finish and it's brand new and it's Hawk. Yeah, okay, fine. We did that 4 years ago. I think we've superseded it probably 3 times already. Okay, that's what we do. We're so far in front that I don't think it's possible to even catch up, if I'm honest. So what we try and do here, this is kind of our mantra, this is what we want our trade to be. We want our trade to climb to new heights. Okay, we want them to get to the pinnacle of their trade in their area for the right reasons. Okay, so you could either do traditional paint and decorating, you could do, I don't know, residential spraying, which is what we did a lot of it, wallpapering, UPVC, commercial works, Venetian, kitchen, spray granite, resin worktops. You see what I mean? This is something that I've done, and I was going to change it this year. I was going to change the pricing, but I thought, you know what, just leave it, because it's the same. It doesn't change that much. I'd like to say every year we get more and more money and it gets great. It doesn't. It doesn't. We've got other ways of making more money on top of this, and we'll talk about that again if you stick around a little bit longer. Traditional decorating, 175. Okay, fine. I'm going to say 200. All right, I'm going to go up 25 quid. The reason being is I've been in the game 35 plus years, and I know when I started, as long as I was between 150 and 250, I was kind of in that decorating scope, and I don't think it's changed massively in 30 odd years, and I don't think it's going to change massively in the next few years. So we focused on residential spraying. We charge more than 275, but I just tried to keep it in relation. Wallpaper, we charge more than that, and you should never charge, and I'll explain why in a minute, and I keep saying that, but keep with me. We never charge the same as what we would do for doing painting. To paint a wall is not like wallpapering a wall, all right? It's not. When a customer gives you an 80 quid roll, okay, you got to get it right. Spraying UPVC, we didn't personally get into that because by then we were already focused on kitchens. Commercial spraying, done enough of that, weren't really me, didn't like it. Venetian plaster, yeah, I did Venetian plaster over 30 years ago. I was lucky enough to go out to Saudi. I worked for the royal family for probably about 18 months doing a lot of Venetian. I worked in Europe, I worked all over the southeast in London. We did a lot of Venetian plaster, and we made a lot of money. It was very good, and it's still good rates now. I wouldn't say it's much different if I'm honest, but it's still really good rates. One piece murals, if I was doing wallpaper, I'd definitely be doing one piece murals. Spraying kitchens is where we're at, and we do actually make more than 480 a day. Okay, we just know we do. I personally, for our kitchen business, Kitchen Painting Network, I do all the spray granite worktops. I'd like to do more, okay, but I'm busy with the academy, but I'd like to do more. Why? Because it's probably the biggest earner we've found, okay? Spray granite for me, you'll see in a minute, we'll talk about it, but it's anywhere between 800 and 1500 quid. And I book out 2 days, and very rarely do I actually take 2 days. Resin worktops, I would love to do. It's just going to take a lot more time and energy to get the designs and everything else done. But I've got some of the guys that have done it, and they're smashing it, and it looks incredible. Right, okay. Why traditional prices? Let's talk about the P&D, okay? The paint and decorating. Why prices stay low and always will, okay? They'll never change because DIY is the alternative, all right? The difference is when you get to paint and decorating, okay, a customer can quite simply say, I can paint that myself. It can, okay. Yeah, all right, this image is great. I used, this was GPT. I think it's pretty cool. That's what I believe a fella feels like when his wife says to him on a Friday after he's worked all week, I've had a great idea. What we're going to do is we're going to paint one of the kids' bedrooms. And he's just like, you have got to be kidding me. I can't think about worse. I hate doing it. I'm absolutely shit at it. Why don't we just pay someone? Nope, because we could do it ourselves. We could use the money somewhere else. Okay. So if you were actually in this kind of sector, you'll get paid, all right, in biscuits, but also you're going to get a lot of grief. And I don't mean just the customers. I just think in general, prices are low. When a customer can do your job, all right, there is no perceived cost value. The second thing is we believe that if you specialize, okay, this is when the money starts changing. All right. Specialized work versus replacement costs. So to replace a kitchen, all right, we are very busy with kitchens, but our customer knows to replace a kitchen at this point, which is, let's say 2025, it's going to be between 20 and 50k. That's a decent price for changing a kitchen. We spray kitchens between 2 and 5 grand. A winner all day long. Replace UPVC, 10 to 40 grand. Okay, you're going to be earning between 800 quid for maybe a couple of garage doors, a couple of windows, to 3.5 grand to do the full set, or maybe even conservatory. Worktops. Okay, people say, oh, I could buy one cheaper. You can, but you can't replace it because you need a lot of trades to get involved. You need the plumber, it just gets complicated. And like I said, I charge between 8 and 1,500 quid for 2 days, and I'm usually done more. The point here is the customer gets it, all right? The customer can't do this. They wouldn't even know where to start. They wouldn't even attempt it, all right? We are doing something that, well, they just can't do. So there's another book here. I threw this in because this is what Pete does. He's done a really good book talking about the specialist decorator. Same take, all right? Just a lot more information. But again, this is the most important, all right? There's 150,000 decorators in the UK, all right? First thing you want to know is how many is on your patch. Because out of that, you want to know the 90%. 90% of the trade just compete at the bottom. They're doing that painting and decorating thing, that traditional painting and decorating thing, the thing that the customer can do, the thing that has no value because there is no replacement factor. When you start focusing on the 10% of something that the customer can't do, and it costs a lot of money to replace, what you're going to find is you don't get that much competition. So that allows us to charge the rates that we charge. Okay. So when we're trying to bring things back in balance, the first thing we want to do is find a way to make the same money or more money in less time. That's how you're going to get your balance back. All right. Granted, what we do is we would use a lot of that time, okay, to earn more money. Well, that's fine. That's entirely up to you. But the point here is when you understand that if you were to specialize in something in particular that your competitors don't do and your customers can't do, and the cost of replacement is so expensive that there is no option, that is when things really start to make a difference. So 3 simple steps to achieve a better business-life balance. First thing, which we've talked about, is evolve your skills. What I mean by that is training, all right? Then evolve your systems. That we'll talk about in a minute because it gets a little bit complicated. But most importantly, you do need to evolve yourself. I've put that last, but technically it should be first. Evolve your skills, all right? These are just some of the guys that did training with us recently that are focused on evolving their business. Most of these guys actually obtain funding. We help them obtain funding. So they are already doing more and more training. They're getting trained. We do, excuse me, we support them a lot. We build them into a community and they will get the results. 2 of the guys already are proper deep in. They're looking at the mentor program. They're part of the Decorators Growth Club. They've got courses booked up galore. They're already saying that they've started to make changes. Okay, changes in so many ways. And do you know what? It's funny because the second guy from the left is actually on my patch, but we're so far in front with our evolution that we've got nothing to fear and everything to gain by bringing him on board as a collaborator, not a competitor. So it does work. Your systems. It's surprising how many people don't actually have systems. You know, I've always said that systems will buy back time, increase profit, and bring the balance back in line a little bit. Not you're never going to be 100%. I accept that. But the thing is with a system, you know, when you're doing a job, if it's in here, okay, and I know what I'm doing and I do the job and everything else, it's just an idea. What you got to do is get this out and put it on paper. This is a book that I've read quite a few times, E-Myth Revisited. I suggest you read it. It's absolutely blinding. It really is amazing. And I love this quote. It says it all for me. If your business depends on you, okay, which is key person dependency, you don't own a business, all right? You have a job. And it's the worst job in the world because you're working for a frigging lunatic. All right? It is. It is. Just seriously, read the book. It will resonate massively. It is so good. When it comes down to systems, Lindsay was commenting about this earlier because I got her to read through this and said, yeah, absolutely brilliant. But she said, this has always been your mantra. And it has, even in our business. A long, long time ago, we realized that we just weren't making the money. We were doing well because we were specializing, but we weren't making the money that we thought we should be making, and we couldn't figure out why. So what we did was we started to record everything. We got all the guys to record when they started something and when they stopped it. And it's what we call the REM system, reverse engineering model. We took all the data, we put it into a spreadsheet, boom. Just blew my mind. Do you know what? The biggest loss of profit and the biggest waste of time ever was in our business, and yours, because you do no different than me, hoovering. All the frigging time. You just hoover between every car, every little bit, before you go home, every single day. We started removing the hoovering. We removed it, okay? And the reason we removed it is because we knew when it was important. And it changed massively. We gained so much time. We either used the time or we made more profit. All right, just remember one simple thing. Efficiency is the ability to remove a process without detriment to the end result. So in other words, if you took this idea of what you do from Monday to Friday, from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and you wrote everything down, if you could then scrub out 2, 3, 4, 5 bits, imagine how much time you would pull back. But do not cut corners. This isn't about cutting corners. It's about understanding efficiency. And it's something we teach a lot. I am absolutely fixated on lean business, using your time better, making the most out of the time you have. Systems, oh my God, are so important. And that's just your day system. I'm not talking about your marketing, your pricing, your every single part of it. We'll give you some of that in a minute. Evolve yourself. All right, it's a hard thing to do. It really is. Pete's put in his book, and he is right. He comes at it, like I keep saying, from a different perspective, but he's absolutely right. You must evolve before your business can evolve. All right, you just do. You've got to improve your mindset. All right, that determines your pricing. When your mindset's good, your pricing's good. Okay, your pricing determines your clients. You start charging more, you get better clients. You stop dropping those low payers, those tire kickers. Your clients determine your stress and your balance. If you get the right clients, they don't give you grief. They pay on time. They're lovely people to work for. But you're choosing the right clients now. And then with all the rest of it, you've got to change your habits. Okay. And that means getting your systems in line, being a little bit more disciplined, get your time management, and just staying away from the stress. Stay away from the stress. Okay, because if you don't, you'll keep making those mistakes and making sure, because that goes right back to the mindset on the first one. If you're stressed and your mindset's low, your prices are low. All right. As you start to evolve, everything follows along. It really, really does. Okay, so we built a system. All right. So this is me now trying to explain to you, we've built the system. All right. We got the skills. All right. We've been doing this longer than anybody. On site, off site, training. More people than anybody else. It's made me a very good teacher. I understand what we're doing. We've got systems. So everything we do is on a system. So when you come in, we explain the system and why we do stuff and why we do it in a certain way. And we share those systems and we teach you how to improve your systems. We give you tools, all right? And what I mean is spreadsheets, everything else, like the pricing course, we give you all of the spreadsheets, all of the data and everything else. Then what we do is we try and focus on mindset. We try and pull you in using the support, but more importantly, we try and bring you in to a community, which we're going to talk about in a bit as to where is the best place to be. We've already walked the painful path. Whenever I do training, I just simply say, because I'm still doing it now, I do this shit for a living, all right? We just don't talk bollocks, all right? I can only tell you what I've got wrong, okay? Time and time and time again. All right, not what sells. Okay, we do what works. We do what we do what works, not what sells. We've made all the mistakes. Okay, we have integrity, because if we didn't, we'd be doing everything that everybody else is doing. We don't sell shit. We tried it and we lost our integrity. Okay, we had a shop for a period and it was horrible because there was a period where I just knew I was trying to upsell. I was always trying to upsell, and it was crazy. The only thing we sell now is profit, your profit. We built the systems, okay? Just come on board, get involved, and we'll show you, and you just need to follow it. Proof's in the pudding, all right? I could show you thousands of people, all right? I could show you thousands of people, happy people, people that keep coming back, people that are in our community, people that have started to evolve. Everybody's on a similar journey. They really, really are. Right, final bit. Okay, I'm going to give you some quick wins, okay? And I want you to try these from this week onwards. We're going to use a 1% profit ladder. What we're going to do is focus on winning fewer jobs. Fewer jobs sounds crazy, okay? Focus on profit, not jobs, okay? We don't get stuck in a, I've got a little bit of a typo there, so I'm going to change that in a minute. Don't get stuck in a pricing bubble. Remove one process from your system, okay, which is going to increase time and profit. And learn to say no a hell of a lot more, all right? Just learn to say no. It's your business, your decision, all right? Just be very clear with your communication. Say no, all right? It is acceptable, really is. Right, this is huge. This is the profit ladder, all right? It's quite simple, all right? We don't actually have the same price at the start of the month than at the end of the month. And what we've learned is we let the data and the market tell us what we should be charging, and that changes, really does. Changes seasonally, changes depending on the time of year. And what we do is we found a way to actually remove the emotion, because the amount of times you guys would turn around and say, oh, they won't pay that. How do we know what they'll pay? We don't know how much they earn. We don't know how much they value the work that you do. You've got to remember that they value their time over how much you cost. That's probably the most important thing. People don't always come to you because you're the best and everything else. It's just the fact that the price that you give, with the service you give, is more important, is less important than their time. They'd rather pay someone and have the time. Right. So what we're going to do is, if you think about it, 1% per quote, just 1%. So for every £1,000, you're going to put £10. Okay, £10. Just £10, 1,010. Okay, so 2%, 3%, 4%. You're going to carry on, okay? You're going to carry on. Let's say you get to 5%. So now you put 50 quid. 50 quid on the job. Do you honestly think you're going to lose the job for 50 quid? No. And you're going to keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Because every time it gets accepted, you go up 1%. However, when you get a rejection, you don't drop your price. You hold it. Okay, and if you get another rejection, now we drop it down. So if we were at 10%, we're going to drop it down to 9%. And if we get another rejection, we're going to drop it to 8% until we get an acceptance. We don't put it straight back up again. We hold it. And if we get accepted again, now we do it. It's like a two-pronged process, okay? If we get 2 rejections, it goes down. If we get 2 acceptances, it goes up. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep doing that by 1%. And you will be shocked, absolutely shocked, how quickly your prices will go up and how much customers will do this. When we bring people into the mentor program, people into the Growth Club, and we start this and they start to do it and they put 1%, what does it do? Oh my God, changes confidence, changes their mindset. I should have done this. I should have done this a long time ago. So they'll put up 2%, 3%, 4%. But when they get a kickback, you've got to remember that you haven't necessarily always got a kickback because of price. You might have got that kickback based on the last price anyway. So don't think that it's about the price, but it doesn't matter. Just hold, okay? We could talk about in the Growth Club and through the mentor and anything else. We can always talk about how you can go back and win that customer, because there's ways of doing that, but that's a whole different conversation. This is how you make money, all right? This is how you bring balance. You bring more money. Okay, so let's just think about this. If you were able to put your price up 10%, okay, imagine what that would do. If you were to work 46 weeks, what if you were to actually work 42 weeks but make the same money by being able to put your price up by, let's say, 10%? You've now got a month. That's a month to do what the hell you like for you or your family or your business or all three. What you could do is, I don't know, 2 weeks in the business, a week with the family, week for yourself. And you've lost nothing, literally lost nothing. It's so important that you understand putting your prices up is the quickest way of getting out of a problem. But putting them up in such a way that it's a system. Oh my God. It's a system. And what it does is when you have a system, it removes all the emotion. So powerful. My biggest problem, well, I've got a few. One of the problems I get with a lot of people and I speak to them is, how busy are you? How much work have you got on? You know, when's your next free day? If I had a job for you, could you fit it in a month, 2 months, maybe longer? Okay. And the reason is a lot of people go, oh yeah. And you know what? I love this. This is the 90% issue. This is the people at the bottom. All right. This is the people that go, oh, I'm busy. I'm so busy. I'm almost booked up for what, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And I'm like, oh my God, that's just crazy. I'm booked up till next July. How good am I? How good am I? I'll tell you how frigging good you are. Your prices that you've submitted are probably the same prices that you've been working on for the past 12 months. That means that the price that you're putting out to the customer is going to be 18 months old, 18 months behind. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's that going to do to your bottom line in 6 months' time or 12 months' time? It is ludicrous. They favour security over profit. Yet, if you were to take more profit, you could afford to take that month off that I was just talking about. Honestly, it boggles me. And then the worst one is word of mouth. I ask everybody, do you get most of your work from word of mouth? Do you feel that most of your clients come through your reputation? Good for you. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay. Build your own reputation. Don't let your clients do it. All right. Because the clients will say what they want to say to the customers that you might not even want, about the prices that you don't want to charge for the work that you don't want to do in the area you don't want to. Oh God, I could just keep going. But you've just let the customer do it. You just let the customer, talk about your business in any way. I'm not saying word of mouth is bad, but you need to be in control of it. And you're not. Oh, I'm doing so well. All my work comes through word of mouth. Brilliant. Good for you. But what happens is you're in a pricing bubble. Be under no illusion, you are in a pricing bubble. Because the one thing that customers do is they talk about money. They'll turn around and say, oh, wow, that's a nice kitchen. Is it new? No. I had it painted. Get out. Looks amazing. I bet that was expensive. Do you know what? It was a fraction of the cost. Cost is $2,500. Oh my God, that is incredible. Have you got their number? Of course I have. Here you go. So she's chuffed to bits that she's recommending you. She's chuffed to bits that she's had the job done. She's just chuffed to bits. And she's chuffed to bits that her friend is looking at her and wanting to do the same. So then what happens is you think, you know what, I'm nice and busy. I'm going to put my price up. I'm going to charge her, instead of $2,500, $3,000. Now she's thinking, hang on a minute. Same kitchen, roughly same size, because we're same kind of friends in the same kind of bubble. And you just put it up 500 quid. Nah, she's not happy. She'll go back to the client that told you, and now there's a little bit of awkwardness. $3,000 he quoted me. No. Yeah. That's crazy. Same size kitchen. That's what I thought. But I'm just using kitchens. This is the same. When you put your prices up, you will break out of this pricing bubble. You can't increase your prices, because if you do, you will lose clients. Firstly, that client's not going to go ahead. Secondly, the client that recommends you is not going to recommend you again, because she just doesn't need that grief. And she's probably not going to use you again herself, because you are expensive. The only way you can keep that reputation work is if you stay within that pricing bubble. Work will start to dry up. So one of the things that we try and help is how to market. And it's really weird because decorators just don't market. Some say, well, I'm on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Your competitors are on Facebook. That's not marketing. Oh, we used to say back in the day, I'm in the yellow pages. Yeah, I'm in the yellow pages, but I'm that little line at the bottom. I haven't got a quarter or a half or a full page ad, because back then we used to call it advertising. And they were the ones that used to spend the money to get the customers. Oh, no, we don't pay for advertising. We wait for our customers to come to us. We wait for that phone to ring. That's how good we are. We wait for the phone to ring. And we just pray it does, because there's times it don't. So word of mouth, yeah, it's good, but we want to teach you how to use it better. All right. It's what we call control the narrative. I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and talk about that. But these are the bits that you've got to change. Okay. One of the things that we talk about here is mindset and everything else. This isn't just my ramblings. This is the fact that we've done it. We've helped other people. They've had success. Then they've done something different. It's come back, and we've got this community. Okay, and the reason you need a community is because you don't want to do this alone. I wish I'd have had this community years ago myself. I probably wouldn't have been a stress. I probably wouldn't have had to have 12-inch of my bowel ripped out, and I think my life would be better. My family life would be better. My relationships would be better. I just do. I think being around people that are similar, people that push me, people that lift me when I'm down a little bit, people I can learn from, people that have already made the mistakes, and just, if I'm honest, people who just want more. All right, I'm only after the 1%. All right, that's it. I just want 1%. And if you're honest, and we can do this at another time, I'll show you how you only need the 1%, but the right 1%, the 1% that returns that revenue. Climbing mountains is far easier if we all rope together with the right people. Again, it says here, come and get involved. Join us. We have got your back. All right. This is fantastic. This is Decorators Growth Club, and I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay. We've got the QR code. Just scan it with your phone now. It is £25 a month. It's the one thing that we charge for. Why? Because I've actually realized that 80p a day keeps a dickhead away. That's it. That's how much it costs. 80p a day. And those people that come and sit and watch this video and listen to my ramblings and just sit there and nod and go, yep, that's me. Yeah, I get it. They still don't pay 80p a day. I just don't get it. I mean, I should be charging 250 quid a month, but we charge 25 quid a month. All right. It just brings the right community. It stops all because we know what social media is like in these groups and forums, and it is on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. It just stops the dickheads. So if you don't want to pay 80p a day, what's that make you? That's all I'm saying. Pop over, okay, to see Pete's book. This is probably after. If you're watching this whilst you're at the show, brilliant. If you're not, just go to Amazon. All right. He's got loads of books, pricing books, system books, niching. But this is probably the one that it's the latest one. It is really, really good. And then again, like I said, if this is passed and the 12 months is gone, it doesn't matter. If you reach out to us, I guarantee, like those people that I showed you in the video, they didn't win it, but they've got a 12-month business package, okay, completely free. So they're allowed to do unlimited paint tech courses because we get funding for them. They've entered into a mentorship program, okay, a one-to-one mentorship, okay, all paid for through funding. Ongoing business growth support, fine, they pay 25 quid a month for that. Whoopee, okay, it's all there. This is trying to get you guys to just start to make small changes so that your pizza doesn't look as shit as what it does this year. All right. You just need to be around other people. You need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in your business. You need to invest in your skills, your systems, all of it. If you don't, I'll catch you next year and we'll be having the same conversation. Laters.